Here we go with another set of cell division IB questions. This is paper 1, remember, multiple choice. So let's just get started. When during the cell cycle does DNA replication take place? So we can see here they're showing us the cell cycle, and we know the first phase is here. This is G1 phase, the growth phase. This is S phase, and this is G2 phase, and then it goes into cell division or mitosis, okay? So where does, in this whole cycle, A, D, C, or B, does DNA replication take place, or DNA synthesis? So if we look at the one that I used in my video when I explained the cell cycle, we can see here that essentially during the S phase, S for synthesis is where DNA synthesis takes place, or DNA replication, okay? So we know it must be C, okay? Again, they can show you here interphase. So just like on my diagram, interphase includes G1, S, and G2, okay? Cell division or mitosis and cytokinesis is in the process of cell division. So the answer here must be C. Next. Which mitotic phase is labeled X in the micrograph of an onion root tip? Basically, this doesn't matter. Onion root tip. All they're saying is they're using a living organism and they're looking really, really close with a microscope. Okay, and this is what they see. They see a bunch of cells, and we know a cell at any given stage can be at any of these phases of the cell cycle, right? It's like a human. We can be young, old, or dying at any during our cell cycle. Just like that, a cell has all these stages. So in which stage of mitosis specifically? So they're asking specifically about mitosis. We know mitosis is in cell division, and mitosis has 4 stages: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. And they look like this, right? Let's go down here. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. And then we go into cytokinesis, in which the cell divides, okay? But mitosis has these 4 phases. Now they're asking what this one looks like. So this one looks to me like a bunch of chromosomes lined up in the middle of the cell, okay? So that's going to represent this one, metaphase, okay? Because we notice from this image that these chromosomes are not being separated. They're all lined up in the middle. Therefore, it cannot be anaphase yet. And we still notice that there's only one place where the chromosomes are, so it cannot be telophase or anything like that. But also, very importantly, notice that almost all of the other cells are in interphase. Nothing is happening. They look like normal cells, right? And this makes 100% sense, because if we look at the cell cycle, look how long interphase is. Okay, it's the longest part of the cell cycle, meaning most cells are probably in interphase at any given moment. Very few will actually be in mitosis. So that's why all of the other cells look like, most of them at least, look like they're in normal interphase. Nothing seems to be happening visually, right? Okay, so the answer's gotta be metaphase, B. Which usually takes the most time in the cell cycle? I just explained this. What takes the most time in this whole cycle? Interphase. This includes 3 big stages, G1, S, and G2. Mitosis is pretty short actually, and cytokinesis is the shortest. So we know it's going to be interphase. We don't even have to compare the other ones, because we know interphase is the longest phase of all. So it's going to be B. The answer will be B. Okay, see these questions, if you've done part 1 and 2 and this is part 3 for you, you see the questions start repeating so much, okay? If you do enough, you'll notice there's no questions that can surprise you anymore. So which is the sequence of events in mitosis? Again, mitosis is part of cell division, and it has 4 phases, starting with prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, right? Prophase, the chromosomes are kind of just floating around in any place. They start condensing, start becoming visible. Metaphase, they line up straight in the middle. M for middle, the middle phase. And then these things start forming, which will pull them apart, called spindle fibers. And they will pull these chromosomes apart in anaphase, forming 2 separate nucleuses. And then cytokinesis, the cell will divide, right? So we know it's going to be prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, okay? And again, if you don't understand anything I'm talking about this whole cell division topic, make sure to watch my videos. Everything will make sense, and then it's better to come and do the questions afterwards. Otherwise, you'll be confused and think you're really bad at this, but in reality, you just need to go watch the videos first. Okay, last one here. The following shows a micrograph. So again, we saw here, this was a micrograph as well. So here they're showing us another micrograph. But here we can see here, there's a lot of different cells, a lot of things going on. They're asking us, show the order in which mitosis occurs. We know that the order of mitosis, we already answered it in the previous question, is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. So they want you to point out which one is prophase. So it's pretty difficult to tell from these numbers. Like you may think, okay, I know for a fact this one is metaphase because all the chromosomes are in the middle, lined up. It's very similar to this picture, right? You see all the chromosomes are lined up in the middle. It's metaphase. So we know, let me go back to it. We know this is metaphase, and we know metaphase is the second phase. So automatically it must be C or D, okay? Because you're pretty confident about metaphase at least. Now, what about this one? Oh, this one we can see, 3. You can see the chromosomes are starting to be separated. Some are being pulled to the one side of the cell, where some are being pulled to the other side. And if you don't know what's going on in this image, these are all individual cells. This is one cell, this is another cell, this is another cell. They're all different cells, okay? So if you're confused about what's going on, that's what's going on. So we know 3 is pulling apart these chromosomes, that's anaphase. So we know anaphase comes after metaphase, right? They line up in the middle, and anaphase, they get pulled apart. So we know it's going to be the second option, which is metaphase, will be 1 and 1, and then after that, it'll be 3, which is anaphase. So we know it's going to be D automatically. So this means 2 must be prophase, which makes sense. It's the only one that doesn't look characteristic to metaphase, anaphase, or telophase, because 4 is telophase. We can see the nucleuses are starting to form on the opposite ends of the cell, a lot like this image here. Let me show you. So it's a lot like this one, telophase. There are 2 separate nucleuses forming, which we can see in this image, 2 separate nucleuses, which is telophase. It looks a lot like a telephone, an old age telephones. These 2 balls, which 2 nucleuses, okay? So we know it's going to be D. The answer is going to be D. So I hope these questions are really helping you and that you can actually hopefully do some of them or hopefully all of them. And again, as I said, if you really can't do them, there's no reason for you not to get them. If you can watch my videos, I'm pretty sure that they will help you and you should be able to answer these questions fairly comfortably. Anyways, I will definitely make some more question videos in the future, but hopefully this is helping you for now.